Hello everybody. My name is Akanksha and today we are going to discuss topic fractions. Fraction is a relatively simple topic but very important because without having any knowledge about fractions it is very difficult, or I would say it is almost impossible to do any calculation in maths. So let's see what is mean by fraction and how to solve these problems and what kind of problems we deal in this particular topic. So I have given the definition in a very plain simple language so that you all can understand. A fraction is a way to show a part of a whole thing. It is written with two numbers separated by a line. Let's try to understand what does it mean. So fraction is a way to show a part of a whole thing. So they are talking about some whole thing. Let's say that whole thing is a box. Just consider a box, okay? And one part, a part of this box. So let me divide this box into two parts. I can do this. So just assume that both the parts are of equal size. So how will you define this part? Can I say in English this part is half of the full box, right? This part is half of the full box. How will you write it? You will write it as 1 by 2. So this is a fraction. This is called fraction. Okay. Now try to understand this line again. Let's go through the line. A fraction is a way to show a part of a whole thing. So whole thing is 1 and part of whole thing is half. So here we are talking about just this part of the box. Similarly, let's say this is your box. Let me divide it into four parts. Okay. And how will you define this particular part? This particular part is 1 by 4th part of this box. So box is your whole thing and this particular part is 1 by 4. It is written with two numbers. You can see that fraction is always written in two number 1 and 2 separated by a line. So 1 by 4. So this we read it as 1 by 4 or 1 upon 4. So different people use different terminology. Now, since I have given you an idea of a fraction, so 1 by 4 is a fraction. The bottom number, so in this case 4, in this case 2. The bottom number is known as denominator, shows how many equal parts the whole is divided into, right? So here you can see that in this box, you have divided this box into two parts. So that 2 you have written in the denominator, or this bottom number shows in how many parts you have divided the box or the whole thing. Similarly, here you can see that this 4 means in how many pieces you have divided your whole thing. So 4 pieces. And this number is known as denominator. The top number, which is also known as numerator. So we call it as numerator. This one is denominator. Shows how many of those parts we are talking about. So total you had four parts, but we are interested in only one. So we were talking about the one part. So that you have to write in the numerator or above the line. So below the line, whatever number you see is the number of equal parts you have divided the whole thing, and the number written on the line is the number of boxes or number of parts we are interested in. In this case, we were interested in only one part. Here, in this case, again, we were interested in one part 1 upon 2, 1 upon 4. Example: if a pizza is cut into four equal pieces, so pizza is generally looks in circle, right? So now you cut it into four equal pieces and you take one slice. You just take one slice. Let's say this slice. Hmm? You have 1/4 of the pizza, right? So 1 by 4 part of the pizza you have taken. So this is an example. Like I have given you this. So this part is 1 by 4. We also call it as 1/4 of the whole thing. Now, types of fraction. Now you understood the fraction. What is mean by fraction? Fraction is just two numbers separated by two lines. And where what is mean by the number sitting above the line and what is mean by number sitting below the line. I think I have made it very clear. If anything is not clear, you just revise the video again. That is a small suggestion. Now, types of fraction. So one type of fraction is proper fraction. What it what does it mean? The top number is smaller than the bottom number. This means it is less than a whole. So if top number means numerator is smaller than the denominator, that is known as proper fraction. For example, 2 by 3. So it is 2/3. So you divide your whole thing into three parts. Let's say here, and how will I divide it into three parts? Let's say like this. Oh, this is not correct. Let me do it again. So this is your box. It is difficult to divide box into three pieces. Can I do this? Yes. One, two, three. So you have divided your box into three pieces and now you are interested in two, two pieces of those three. So this shaded part is 2/3 of the whole thing. So it is a proper fraction. And proper fraction means this is not the whole thing. It is less than whole thing because you are interested in only in this shaded area. Shaded area is less than the whole area. Now, improper fraction. Improper fraction is the one where your top number is equal or bigger than the bottom number. This means it is one whole or more. So it is 5 by 4. Let's say you divide something. So let's say you have divided your whole thing into four parts, right? One, two, three, four. That is written in the denominator, is bottom number. But you are interested in 5/4. So you are interested in this whole thing, four parts plus one equivalent thing. So this means 5 by 4. So total 4, but you are interested in 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1, 5. So this is called known as improper fraction. Now mixed fraction. What is mean by mixed fraction? A whole number and a proper fraction together. So generally you will see that people write fraction in the form of 1 and 1 by 2. It is 1 and 1 by 2. So whole thing, let's say your whole thing is this plus half of the whole thing. So this is your 1 and 1 by 2. So these together, it is not plus over here, but yeah, this thing together is 1 and a half. So 1 and a half. So proper fraction means numerator is smaller, improper fraction is numerator is bigger, and mixed means whole thing and something. So 1 and a half. So 1 full thing plus half. So this you can write it as 3 and 1 by 4. So 3 thing and 1 by 4. Now equivalent fractions. Next terminology is equivalent fractions. So there are fractions that look different but have the same value. For example, here is one example. Fraction that have the same value but different numerators and denominators. You can see that 1 by 2 and 2 by 4 and 3 by 6 all are equal. Why they all are equal? Because see, 1 by 2 is same as if you multiply 1 with 2, 2 with 2, right? Because 2 and 2 you can cancel out and it will be 2 by 4. Similarly, 2 by 4 may you can multiply again by 2 or 3 maybe and 4 into 2. You will get 4 upon 8. So all are equal. How will you get equivalent form of fraction? To find equivalent fractions, multiply or divide both the numerator and denominator with the same non-zero number. Why do we need it? Sometimes what happen? Your answer will be in the form of, let's say, 54 by 26. This is your answer. But we don't want it. We want to simplify it. Now you can see that this thing you can write as 27 into 2 and 13 into 2, right? So this you will write as 27 upon 13. Now there is nothing common between this and this. You cannot divide numerator and denominator with common number. So this is the most simplified form of the fraction. So this and this both are equivalent, but we just want to simplify it. So see here, 4 by 8. What does it mean? It means you divide your whole thing into 8 parts, right? 4 and then 8. How should I divide it into 8? Maybe I will take this and this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pieces. Now you are interested in 4 of them. So 4 means 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? This is your 4 by 8. But same thing I could have done in this way also. Divide your whole thing into 2 parts and take 1 part. Both are same, no? So this is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 and 4 by 8 are equivalent. So that is what that equivalence has been shown over here. So 1 by 2 is equal to 4 by 8. So that is mean by equivalent fraction. How do we get it? You just multiply or divide with the same number in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Now, simplifying fractions. This will be easy to understand when we solve some problems. But here I will give you some, just you can also read it. Reducing a fraction to its lowest terms by dividing both the numerator and denominator by their greatest common divisor or factor or highest common factor. So, how will you get simplified fraction? As I told you, suppose you have 24 and 12. So, you know that 24 and 12 both are divided by 2. So, 24 can be written as 12 into 2. 12 can be written as, or you can write it 12 as it is. 12 into, maybe I can write it as 6 into 2. So 2 and 2 both are common. So this fraction is same as 6 and 12. But 6 and 12 is equal to 2 because 6 twos are 12. So it is 2. So that is how you can simplify it. It is written in a, a bit fancy words, but that is what it means. This means making the fraction as simple as possible. Simplifying fraction means, so see, you can see that this 24 by 12 is more complicated than 2. So 2 is the simplified form of 24 by 12. So simplifying fraction is one thing you have to keep on doing. So this means making the fraction as simple as possible. You do this by dividing both the top and the bottom numbers by the largest number that divides into both. That is what I did just now, right? So 4 by 8 can be simplified to 1 by 4, dividing both by 4. So you can see that 4 by 8, if you want, you can see that 4 and 8 both are divided by 4. So you can cancel 4 also by 4 and 8 also by 4. So divided by 4. So you will get 1 and 2. So 1 by 2. So they are equivalent. Now, comparing fraction. Let's say two fractions are given. Well, assume that 2 by 4 and 3 by 6. These two fractions are given. How will you compare them? So, how will you compare which one is bigger, which one is smaller? So, what is the rule? If the bottom numbers are the same, okay? If the bottom are same, like here 5 and 5, the fraction with bigger top number is bigger. So here you have two numbers, two fractions, 3 by 5 and 2 by 5. So 3 by 5 and 2 by 5. First thing you have to observe is the denominator. So denominator are equal. If denominator are equal, whichever number is bigger in the numerator, that fraction is bigger. So 3 is more than 2, no? So 3 by 5 is more than 2 by 5. So idea is the same. You divide your box into 5 pieces, right? Uh, how should I define it into 5 pieces? Again, it is a challenge. Let me do this. Okay. If I want to do it equivalently, I should have taken, let me divide it into three parts first. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. Let me do it like this. Okay. They are not equal. Now you have divided your full thing into 5 pieces. Now one fraction is 3 by 5. So one fraction is 1, 2, and 3. This is your 3 by 5. Let me draw it again. Other fraction is 2 by 5. So 1 and 2. This is 2 by 5. Now tell me which one is bigger, 3 by 5 or 2 by 5? The shaded area. First 3 by 5. So first you have to match the denominator, and then whichever numerator is big, that fraction is bigger. If the bottom numbers are different, let's say instead of 5, some other numbers are given, then find a common bottom number or change them to decimal. So this decimal part you don't need. So what you do, if denominators are not equal, you have to first make them equal. To compare 1 by 2 and 1 by 4, let's say you want to figure out 1 by 2 is bigger or 1 by 4 is bigger. What you will do, here you can see that denominator are different. First you have to make the denominator equal. How will you do it? Can I say 1 by 2 is same as 2 by 4? Just multiply it by 2. So now 1 by 2 is equal to 2 by 4. Now you can compare 2 by 4. So one place you have 2 by 4, other place you have 1 by 4. Now bottoms are equal. Which one is bigger? Of course, 2 is bigger than 1. So this is bigger. Or alternatively, you can say that 1 by 2 is bigger than 1 by 4. That is how you have to do. Now you see that 2 by 4 is bigger than this. Now, how do we work with fractions? These are just now, I have just told you some proofs. Now, if you want to calculate, or if you actually want to work with fraction, if you have to work with fraction, how do we do that? So, if you want to add two fractions, 1 by 4 and 2 by 4, rule is the same. First, you match the bottom and then add the numerator. If the bottom numbers are same, just add or subtract the top number. So here you can see that 1 by 4 and 2 by 4 is equal to 3 by 4. What is the rule? So always you just try to match the bottoms and do your addition subtraction. Okay. If the bottom numbers are different, you need to find a common bottom number. Let's say you want to add 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4. Now you can see that both bottoms are different, but you can match the bottom by multiplying 2 by 4, right? So you can write 1 by 2 as 2 by 4 plus 1 by 4. And now you can add them together to get 3 by 4. Let's see one more problem. Let's say 3 by 5 and 1 by 4. What will be the common denominator for both of them? You just multiply 5 by 4 and 4 by 5. Can I do this? 3 into 4, 5 into 4, right? You can divide and multiply by the same number. Plus 1 into 5 and 4 into 5. So what I did, I multiplied this fraction by 4 in the numerator and denominator, this fraction by 5 in the numerator and the denominator. Now you can see that denominator is the same. So denominator for both the fraction is 20. Now you can do addition. 3 into 4 is 12. 5 into 1 is 5. So answer will be 17 upon 20. So that is the rule. If bottoms are equal, you don't need to do anything. You just add the numerator. If bottoms are not equal, so there are different methods. So that if you practice, then only you will get to know how to make them equal. So here you can see that 5 and 4, there is nothing common between them. So you just multiply 4 by this. So you just multiply this fraction in numerator and denominator by 4, this fraction in numerator and denominator by 5. So 5 by 4, 5 by 4. Now multiplication. If you want to multiply two fractions, so how will you multiply? Multiplication is pretty simple. You just multiply numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. So 1 by 2 and 1 by 6 is 1 into 1 is 1, 2 into 3 is 6. So similarly, let's say if I want to multiply 1 by 2 into 1 by 4, what will be the answer? 1 into 1 and 2 into 4. So it will be 1 upon 8. So multiplication is pretty simple. Now, if you want to divide two fractions, let's say 1 by 2 divided by 1 by 4. So how will you do it? Let me write it down. So 1 by 2 divided by 1 by 4. Rule is this and this you can keep together, this and this you can keep together. So you can write it as 1 into 4 and 2 into 1. So it is 4 by 2, and that is equal to, you can see that 4 and 2 both you can divide by 2. So answer will be 2. So what you have to do is just write them as it is, 1 by 2 divided by 1 by 4. So you just have to flip, or otherwise what you can do, if you want to divide, other rule, 1 by 2 multiply with 4 by 1. So you just flip this number, 1 by 4 you just write as 4 by 1. This will give you 1 into 4 and 2 into 1. That is 4 by 2, and that is equal to 2. So anything is okay. So you just flip it and multiply. Now, fractions and ratios. Fraction and ratios are connected. A ratio says how much of one thing there is compared to other. Let's see one example. If you have one apple and two oranges, the ratio of apples and oranges are 1 is to 2. So this we read as 1 is to 2. So that is the ratio of apples and oranges. And the same thing you can say that fraction is half. So this can also be written as fraction half, 1 by 2. So if ratio is 3 by 4, you can write it in fraction as 3 by 4. That is the simple rule. Now let's see some problems. So theory is done. Now we are going to solve some problem. First problem is, what fraction represents 30 minutes in an hour? So here they are talking about 30 minutes, and here it is written as hour. So first thing, you have to convert an hour into minutes. So 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, right? 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Now, in 60 minutes, what fraction is 30? So, fraction, how will you compute fraction? So, whole thing is 60. You are interested in 30. So, 30 upon 60. Whole thing is 60, right? And you are talking about 30. So, it will be, so here you can see that you just have to simplify it. So, 30 upon 60. You can divide both the numbers by 10. So you will get 3 by 6. 10 say you can divide both. Now you can see that 6 and 3 both can be divided by 3. So basically I can write this as 1 by 3 and this as 2 by 3. So it is 1 by 2. So correct option is C. So C is the correct option. Is the calculation clear? So you are interested in 30 minutes and whole thing is hour. Whole thing is 60, you are interested in 30. So the one you are interested in, that you have to write in the numerator, and whole thing you have to write in the denominator. So it is 1 by 2. Next problem. If 1 by 3 of a number is 21, what is 1 by 7 of that number? So here they are talking about some number. So let's say x. So they are saying 1 by 3 of a number, let's say a. 1 by 3 of a is 21. So from here you can compute the value of a. A will equal to cross multiplication. So a by 3, let me write it again in more simplified form. 1 by 3 into a. How will you multiply? It is a by 3 is equal to 21. Now you do cross multiplication. Huh? So there is nothing. So you just assume 1. So a is equal to 21 into 3. So that is 63. So a is 63. Now what is 1 by 7 of that number? So 63 ka 1 by 7. So you just compute 63. Sorry. You just have to compute 1 by 7 of 63. So 7 and 63 can be divided by, so 7 into 63. What will you get? You will get 9 because 7 9 ja 63. So 9 is the correct option. Sorry, B is correct. Is this okay? Is this clear? So 1 by 3 of a number is 1 by 3 of A is equal to 21. So from here you get that number. That number is 63. Now 63 ka 1 by 7 you have to compute. Now next problem. A basket contains 60 fruits. Okay. You have a basket, and in this basket you have 60 fruits. If 2/3 of them are apples, so that means apples is equal to 2 by 3 of 60, right? Because 60 are the total thing, and total ka 2 by 3 are apple. Now you just simplify it. 3 say 60, you will get 20. So 2 into 20, that is 40. So in the basket, you have 40 apples. Are apples, and 1 by 4 of the apples are rotten. So you have total 40 apples, but 1/4 of them are rotten. So how many apples are in good condition? First, you have to compute rotten apples, and then you have to subtract to get good items. So compute rotten apples is equal to 40 ka 1 by 4, because 1/4 of 40, 1/4 of the apple, 1/4 of the apples are rotten. So you know that 4 and 4 will get cancelled. You will have 10. So 10 apples are rotten. So good apples are 40 minus the rotten one, that is 30. So option 3 is correct. Option C is correct. Okay. Next problem. Which of the following fractions is the largest? You have to compare them. You have 4. You have to figure out which one is the largest. What is the rule? First, you have to make them, means denominator should be equal. Let me write them. So 5 by 8, 9 by 16, 13 by 16, and 1 by 2. First thing you have to remember, you, you have to make them equal. Before comparing, your focus should be on the denominator. Do not look at the numerator, okay? Otherwise, you can make mistake. So 16 and 16, here the denominators are equal. Then you have to look at the numerator. So 13 is more. So 13 by 6, 16 is bigger than 9 by 16. But first, you please make the denominator equal. So 16 and 16. So common bottom will be 16. So how will you make 8 into 16? How will you convert 8 into 16? You know that 8 into 2 is 16, right? So multiply by 2. How will you convert 2 into 16? Multiply it by 8, right? 8 into 2 is 16. So let me erase this for the time being. So your four fractions become 10 by 16, 9 by 16, 13 by 16, 8 by 16. Since denominators are equal, now you have to look for into the numerator, and you can see that 13 is bigger than 9, bigger than 10, bigger than 8. Of course, this fraction is the largest. So 13 by 16. So what is the rule? First of all, write all the fractions together and try to make the denominator equal. Once denominator are equal, then you look at the numerator. Denominator is the bottom number, numerator is the number sitting on the line. So 13 by C. So option 13 by 16. C is correct. Is this okay? Next problem. A student spends one third of his pocket money on books and one fourth of the remainder on stationery. What fraction of his pocket money does he spend on stationery? So let's say students' pocket money is one whole thing. Okay. So one third he is spending on one third of the pocket money he is spending on books and one fourth of the remainder. So is one is the total pocket money, right? Because it is not given. So you just consider it as one. Whole thing is the pocket money. So one third means 1 by 3. Student spends on stay on books and remaining and one fourth of the remainder. So one third he has spent on books. What is the remaining one? Remaining pocket money is equal to 1 minus 1 by 3. And how will you compute this subtraction? Common denominator. That is the rule. So can I write 1 as 1 into 3 upon 1 into 3 minus 1 upon 3. So that is how you have to do the addition and subtraction. So you have 3 minus 1 upon 3. So that is 2 by 3. So student has remaining 2 by 3 of his pocket money. And now 2 by 3 ka 1 by 4 he is spending on stationery. So spending on stationery is 2 by 3 ka 2 by 3 into 1 by 4, right? So as you must have seen in this problem also, 1 by 3 of, so 1 by 3 of a number is 1 by 3 into that number is 21. So similarly, so he is spending one fourth of the remainder on stationery. So how much remainder he has? So one third he has already spent on books. So he has now 2 by third means 1 minus 1 by 3, and now 2 by third 2 third ka 1 fourth he is spending on stationery. So that is 2 third into 1 by 4. And what is the rule for multiplication? Numerator into numerator, denominator into denominator. So that will be 2 upon 3 into 4 is 12. But you can simplify it. Now you know that 2 and 12 has common 2. So 1 by 6. So 1 by 6 is the correct option. So option A is correct, right? That is how you have to do. And that is how we are using addition, subtraction, multiplication, everything in solving these simple problems. Now, which fraction is equivalent to 3 by 4? This you have to figure out. How do we check equivalence? If you have common divisor, means if you have a number, non-zero number, which you can multiply in this and get one of the things. So let me start with the first number, 6 upon 15. So you can see that 6 and 15 both can be divided by 3, right? So 3 say you can divide 6. So you will get 2. And if you divide 15 by 3, you will get 5. 2 by 5. That is not equal to 3 by 5. So this is not the correct answer. Next is 9 by 10. Is there any number which divides 9 as well as 10? Yeah. Is there any number which divide 9 and 10? No. So it is not equals to 3 by 5. Right? Now 12 by 14. Let's see 12 by 20. So 12 by 20, do you know any number which divides 12 as well as 20? 2 is one of the number. So 6 and 10. So 2 6 are 12 and 2 say if you divide 20 you will get 10. Is there any number which divides 6 as well as 10? Means same number. Yes, again 2. So you will get 3 and 5. Yes, correct match. So 12 by 20 is equivalent to 3 by 5. Let's check 15 by 20 also. 15 and 20. Is there any number which divides 15 as well as 20? Yes, 5 is the number. So 5 threes are 15 and 5 fours are 20. But this is also not equals to 3 by 5. So in this question, option C is correct. Okay. Next, solve 1 by 5 and 2 by 5. It is pretty simple. 1 by 5 and 2 by 5. You can see that denominators are equal. So if denominators are equal, what you have to do? You just have to add the numerator. It is 3 by 5. So 3 by 5. Option C is correct. Next, what fraction of a day is 6 hours? So they are talking about a day. So day, a day is the whole thing. You are interested in calculating what fraction of a day is 6 hours. First, you have to convert your day into hours because here you are interested in hours. So one day is equal to 24 hours, right? So now what fraction of 6 in 24 hours? So it is 6 by 24. You are interested in 6 and whole thing is 24. Now is there any number which divides 6 as well as 24? You can start with 2. 2 divides 6, 2 divides 24, right? So you will get 3 and 12. Again, is there any number which divides 3 and 12? 3 itself, right? 3 and 4. So it is 1 by 4. So 6 hour is 1/4 of a day, right? You can divide your day into 6 hours, na? 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 24. No, there is some mistake over here. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is not 24. 6, 6 hours. Yeah, it is correct. Yeah, 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 24. So 6 is 1/4 of the day. So option B is correct. I hope I'm making any sense, right? You are you're getting. These are some practice problem. Oh, it is the same. What fraction of a day is 6 hours? We just solved this. A cake is cut into 8 slices. So you have a cake, you're cutting it into 8 slices. If John eats 3 slices, what fraction of the cake did he eat? So total is 8. He ate 3 slices. So 3 by 8. Simple. Because you are interested in 3, total is 8. Solve 1 by 5 divided by 1 by 3. So 1 by 5 into, flip it, 3 by 1. This is how you have to solve it. Next is solve 2 by 3 into 1 by 4. So 2 by 3 into 1 by 4. You know the rule. Addition. Denominator are the same. You have to add them up. Now in a class, 2/5 of the students are girls. What fraction of students are boys? So just consider whole thing is 1. So total students are 1. 1 ka 2/5 are girls and remaining are boys. So you just have to compute 1 minus 2 by 5. That is your boys fraction. Next, which fraction is largest? We have just solved similar problem. You just write all four numbers, these four numbers, and try to make the denominator common. And then you compare the numerator. Now simplify the fraction 15 by 25. You just have to see, is there any number which divide 15 as well as 25? So you need single number. You cannot take two different numbers. So you have to see if there is any number which divides 15 as well as 25. So that is how you have to do it. Which of the following fraction is equivalent to 2 by 8? Similar question we have just done. Similarly, you can do it this one also. So yeah, that's all for today's. I hope you all can learn and practice some more problems on fraction. So fraction is, as I told you, is a relatively easy topic. I'm sure you must have done this topic in your plus 2, even plus 1, and even before that. So this topic is not new for any of you, but here again I have given you few ideas. So yeah,